Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're into the Matrix. You are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today, we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you guys spam the like button, hitting the share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get to it, y'all. Nothing too serious tonight. Just a late night Saturday night live hangout session. Looking at some charts, looking at some questions, some comments, some concerns, and just hanging out with y'all. What up, Ski? It's late as hell, but I'm front and center. John says LFG. Kuko and Fat Cat, please. Says, what the heck, live now? Yeah, I was watching some football, and it went later than expected. I don't even normally go live on Saturdays anymore, actually, but I just felt like it. So why not? Beers and stogies, this is fine. Saturday night, I might light me up a stogie. I already had one though. You can't have two. One a day, that's the maximum. All right, as the time of recording, Bitcoin sitting at $115,800, looking really strong in my opinion. Pretty much full bullish posture on the 5 hour again. Pretty much what we predicted / anticipated was that we were going to rise into the rate cuts and we would have a back test of the prior range or a higher low shortly. And then I anticipate that October and November is going to be the real deal euphoria. Everything is lining up. The dominoes are quickly, quietly, and exponentially falling. I think that Ethereum has a decent chance of making an all-time high before then. You know, we're basically right there now. We're actually within 5% on Ethereum making an all-time high. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think Ethereum's going to make an all-time high, and then it's going to backtest the prior range and put in a higher low. That is what I think is going to happen. It's already up 15% over the last... How many days is that? I'm not sure. What up? You think VeChain 20 cents is a good possibility? I do think that. Can you check Link in the graph? Yeah, I like Link. Link has the same chart as everything. Same as ADA. Same as... Link to me is a really solid play. My targets are still the same. There's not really too much to update on Link. We can look at it, though. We'll look at it. It's just marching along, doing what it does. So short term, this is accumulation right here. That's what this is. This is your markdown. You have your selling climax, your automatic reaction, your secondary test in phase B. You could classify this as your sign of strength backtest, or you could classify this as your sign of strength backtest. Ultimately, the big number is getting above 30. Because in the macro, so this is micro Wyckoff accumulation, but then also this is macro Wyckoff. It's doing Wyckoff within Wyckoff. It's doing Wyckoff squared. It says, what the heck you doing on? I just felt like it. You know what I mean? Like no real reason, to be honest. I don't normally even go live on Saturdays. Normally I kind of take the weekends off. But we just felt like it. Ohio State won, so might smoke me a stogie. Fitness First says, hey, Ski, what's up, fam? When you say reset the prior range, what does that mean? Backtest the prior range is what I'm saying. For example, I'll give you an example like Ethereum to me. So what I predicted, like, I think it was mid-August is when I started talking about this. I said that we would rally into the rate cuts. That was my prediction. I said others was 380, I believe. I have it circled. Let's pull up others. Let's pull up, I think it was 380 billion. Yes, 380 billion. That was my prediction. Mid-August is when I made that prediction. So we were at, what were we at? We were at 280 billion. So we're on track. I don't think we're that far away. So like for the example of others, if it were to do a back test of the prior range, if my prediction is true, we would rise for the next few days and then have a back test of this range here before going higher. That's the basic move, right? Ethereum, kind of the same thing. That was my predictions in August. You know, I'm not so married to it. I just like where we're at structurally. I think it's good. I expect some volatility this week, though. ICP minimum price. What is my ICP minimum price prediction? I think it's $20. ICP, I was looking at this one. It might be lagging a little bit. It's fighting with the, you know, on the daily, we got to get above the 200 moving average here. So it's fighting with it. We've gotten 3 rejections off the 200 here. But there's a lot of support over here. So I'd say at some point it's going to break above the 200 moving average. That's really the thing that we're waiting for. So we really need to start getting daily body closes above 560, 570. And that would put it in the bullish posture. So that's what it's fighting with. So what is my minimum price? What is my minimum price? Bare bones, $14. But I think $20. Uni rugged me. Uni rugged me. What's wrong with Uni? Uni's not doing anything. Uni looks fine. What did Uni do? ICP retrace. I just gave it, brother. XRP. I just made a video on XRP. Check that one out. But $5, $8, $12. I'm not, you know, I'm a little bit biased, I guess, because my average price is under 30 cents. So it's hard for me to get like super excited about this price because I accumulated it for literal years below 30 cents. So when we're at, you know, $3, like maybe in the macro, is it a good value? Sure. But for me, it's just like, meh. I just kind of, that's how I feel. But I'm still positioned. So like, I'm probably different than a lot of people where I accumulated XRP for literal years and then I sold 40% at $3.33. But I still feel well positioned in XRP. So I don't, it's just kind of a hold for me right now. I did like the value temporarily over here at, we were talking about this. I did like this 290, I think it was, or excuse me, 210. I made some trades here. I didn't mind it here at 270. And you might be like, oh, he's cherry picking. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'll show you. Here we go. July 3rd, 2025. We can see this is all we saw. And this is my projection for XRP, July 3rd, 2025. That was right here. That's the bear trap. Right? That's the same spot right there. So this was at 210, I believe. Yes, this was at 210. Thoughts on GRT? I don't love GRT. It's too much inflation for me. The chart looks fine. Too much inflation, though. for me personally. What do you think XLM will go to? $1.11, 222. Thoughts on Doge? Doge is the Bitcoin of memes. Doge will never be going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be here, but I think it's gonna go to $1.11 as well. That's still my same target. Caspa. Okay, so Caspa. All right. We haven't talked about Caspa in a little while. This was clear, and we marked this out. This is textbook distribution over here back in 2024, right? Now, you can see that I already have these lines here, the white lines. I'll make them a little bit darker just for presentation purposes so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Make it a little bit bigger. So this was already here when I pulled up Caspa, meaning I've already talked about this, right? I've already talked about Caspa ad nauseum. Make sure you guys are spamming the like button, hitting the share, so other people can spam the like button. Hit the share, by the way. And the reason I had this marked out right here, this is a gap in trading. And I was very concerned over here when we just ripped right through this. Like, everyone wants a straight line up until you actually do a straight line up, right? And then what that does is it causes a gap. And gaps tend to get filled. And then this is how we marked it out. We marked this out as Wyckoff distribution, which Caspa gave us a beautiful distribution. Long term, that is very good. So this is textbook Wyckoff distribution. A topping structure. That's what Caspa gave us. Textbook. That's beautiful. That's about as clean as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. This was over here in, when was this? July of 24. And then we went back into the markdown, and I was not interested in Caspa until we filled this gap right here. But now that we filled the gap, I've thought that Caspa is a pretty good value. And it's below the 236 now. And in my opinion, and so what happens with distribution, you go into distribution, right? So here's the oversimplification of how Wyckoff works. So you go into, after distribution, you go into your markdown, which is the bear market. That will just loop right back into accumulation, which is a bottoming structure, and then you go right back up into the markup, which is what we call the bull run, and then you go back into distribution. This kind of loops, ideally loops forever. The only thing that doesn't loop are not real projects. So to me, Caspa is a real project, and it's going to keep looping, just like Bitcoin's done multiple times, right? Anyways, so we're out of the distribution, we're out of the markdown, and we're on to accumulation, in my opinion, which is very good. And we still are technically in a, what you would call a bear market for Caspa, but I don't think any new lows are going to come in. And in fact, we've been putting in higher lows the entire time, as you can see. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Beautiful. The only thing, though, to put us in the most bullish posture, which this is lagging, so you could already be like out of there, but you need to get on top of the 200. I want to see the 20, which everything is sloping up and everything else is coiled up, so it's not going to take a lot of price movement to make this happen. But what I want to see, this red moving average, I want to see this get on top. I want to see the orange be number 2. Whoops. I want to see the orange be number 2. Then I want to see the blue. And then I want to see the dark blue. That is what the posture that I want to see to put Caspa in the most bullish posture. So it's got a little bit of work to do, but I think that the bottom is in for Caspa. and I think that it's working on Wyckoff accumulation. Probably you might. This was like micro. This is probably more macro. I don't even know that we've gotten the macro sign of strength. This looks like a LPS right here. But retracement though, 15 cents. Parabolic, 44 cents. I think that this is a good spot, a good value. It's just got a little bit of work to do. It's not in the most bullish posture. So there you go. That's a pretty deep analysis on Caspa. We haven't looked at that one in a while. We have not looked at that one in a while. Good morning. What are you doing up so late? I don't know. Just felt like going live, to be honest. My family's on a road trip, so it's just me here. So I just felt like watching my football, and then I felt like going live. So there you go. That's a pretty deep breakdown on Caspa. Thoughts on ICP? I like ICP. Same thing, though. It has a little bit of work to do to get in the bullish posture. We actually just looked at ICP. We need to get above this 200 moving average. It's coiling up a lot, which is a good thing. That's what you do before a big move. Okay, the more you chop sideways, the better. And then also what we can see is we've been putting in higher lows on ICP as well. And we've been getting rejected off of the 200. We need to get above this. But the moving averages are getting more and more coiled up. And I would view it like this, like a spring. This is a beautiful spring. I know you guys all came here for my artwork. So that's like a spring. The more that these get coiled up, and when it flips, it gets coiled up like this, right? The bigger a move that can happen. Okay, so that to me is what's happening. Is this is getting coiled for ICP right now. Will Solnick hit $1 by the end of the year? My targets are 10 cents, $1, $5.89. So that is my medium case scenario. Solnick is my number one 100x play. Good morning from Dubai. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know you guys normally don't see me live, I guess, huh? Maybe I should do more weekend late night streams. And I do my normal thoughts on KDA. All right, let's take a look. At KDA. Same thing for KDA as ICP. We just got to get above the 200 here. This is the daily. So this is a nice accumulation here. We just got to get above it. But I don't mind it. It's just getting coiled up. That's what I'm seeing. Everything is getting coiled up. The further these are apart, right, the more price action that needs to take place. The more coiled they are, the better. That means something's about to flip. What's happening? What's up, fam? Good morning from hospital night shift. Good morning from the hospital. My man's out here taking care of patients. WLFI. I don't think there's enough data on WLFI. I don't have any WLFI. That doesn't mean it's good or bad, but it means I'm not really necessarily partial to it. Says, thanks for the ICP update. You think it could cross $20? I do think so. Why is everything red? Oh my god, bro. Are you are you joking? Why is everything red? Because here's the weekly chart. Here's the weekly. What the pump is up 75%. MYX is up 600%. Fartcoin's up 25%. Wild is up 63%. Doge is up 32%. It's the weekend, bro. It's the weekend, bro. Like, it doesn't just go up in a straight line. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the week that we've had. You know, to not expect... I don't even know that it's red. Like, I don't feel anything being red. I mean, maybe it is, but I'm not super micro like that. I guess on... It's not even red on the hour. Like, what are we... On the daily, it's not even... I wouldn't even classify this as red. It's like... Some things are red, some things are green. This is pretty 50-50, to be honest. But yeah, like... Holy late night, brother. What's up? Jump at rate cuts? Yeah, I think so, but I think it's going to be a higher low. Says, great live stream with Coin Guide the other day. I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure me and him are going to do at least one a month. I think that's the plan. So, whoever you guys want me connected with outside of that, you know, do what you guys did. Shout out to the White Whale for getting us connected. So, you guys made that happen, you know. So, if you guys want me to do more podcasts with more people, tell them to do a podcast with me. Put pressure on them. Put that social pressure on them. No, it was good though. I like William. It was a good conversation. We don't agree on everything, but that's good. I don't want to live in an echo chamber. I think he's elite at deciphering like financial articles and seeing like what does it actually mean. I think he's elite at that. October, November, yeah, that's what I think. Crawford just beat Canelo. Uni target, please. 2040 100. Great questions, people. Thank you for answering so clearly. What up, bro? Thoughts on AVAX? Thoughts on Velodrome? Velodrome has a ton of inflation. I'm not a huge fan of highly inflationary coins, personally. All right, I like AVAX here. My targets for AVAX are 180. We prefer hearing good advice rather than Moon Boy's predictions. My whole thing, honestly, is like I am trying to teach you guys how to fish rather than fish for you. I'm not even out here trying to advise anyone other than people that want to book calls with me. But it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm not a moon boy. I'm not. People accuse me of being perma moon boy. I am not. I get bearish. I'm just patient and I'm slow moving. That's the difference. So that's what people confuse. Because in reality, I was bearish, very bearish in 2021. Extremely bearish. I've been bearish along the way on different coins. I was bearish on XRP back in 2024. I sold 40% at 333. You know, there's lots of things that I've been bearish on, but in reality, like, I'm just very patient and slow moving. And sometimes, like, you know, I don't catch the absolute top and catch the absolute bottom. Although I'm, you know, historically I've been pretty decent at catching the bottoms, to be honest. But the point is I'm slow moving and patient, and this keeps me in the right flavor, and it keeps me unemotional about, you know, the day to day. There's just so much crazy things happening in our world every single day. You know, as a content creator, especially in finance, which is already inherently, it's going to be so much more emotional interways. So I'm just patient and slow moving. And that serves me, and I hope it serves you guys. But in the reality, you know, when the 200 moving average is on top, then the 100, then the 50, then the 20, you're in a bear market, right? And when we flip like this for Bitcoin, I'm going to be bearish, and I will remain annoyingly bearish, just like I am bullish, until we flip. And the reality is, we flipped March 10th. When did we actually flip? It wasn't even March. When did we properly, fully flip? Yes. March 5th, 2023. We flipped from a bear market posture to a bull market posture. And guess what? That is where we have remained. The entire time. The last, 3 years now, we have been in the most bullish posture. Now, has it been a straight line up? No, it has not been. But, that's a very simple pass-fail thing to look at to see, are you in the correct flavor or are you not? And that's a 5x of just riding that long wave. And guess what? It's not really particularly even close right now. In order for it to flip bearish, we got a lot of work to do. It's got to trade sideways for a long time before that's going to happen. So we got some work to do for sure. If y'all don't follow Ski, he's legit one of the best. He's the master bottom feeler. That's funny. XRP long or short? XRP already did the move that I was expecting. I am generally more bullish on XRP right now, but I wouldn't want to be longing it. Like I marked this out as the spring over here, but it already moved violently from that spring. You know what I mean? So ideally you would have caught in the long over here. So maybe wait for a back test of 290. That would be a good entry point. I like the posture of XRP, but I'm not yeah, whiff. Whiff looks pretty good. Also, same thing, fighting with the 200. Let's see if we can break above it now or get rejected again. Everything's sloping up. Everything is very coiled. That's where we got to get above, though. $1. Daily body above the dollar puts you in the bullish posture. This was clearly distribution. This was clearly your markdown. This is clearly accumulation. So retracement is 240. Parabolic is 11. Amp. Thoughts on near? I think it will 3x from here. I don't mind near. Flux is one of my top medium cap plays. I have not looked at Flux in a little bit. Let's see what the Flux is going on. Yeah, I don't. Same thing. Like they're all, the whole entire market, guys, is doing the same thing. This has ICP We got to get above the 200, and it's getting very, very coiled up. And what we know with the money, it's still the same targets though. 333, as high as $13. What we know with the money flow for Bitcoin is this. It goes from Bitcoin to Ethereum, which guess what? That's what we just had. How do I know that that's what we just had? Ethereum is up 50% over Bitcoin since July, meaning it has outperformed Bitcoin by 50%, not up 50%, more than Bitcoin since July. That is 8 years of stock market gains. That's what Ethereum is up compared to Bitcoin. So this is the roller coaster ride, which is cryptocurrency. Okay? This is the longest part of the ride. This has been like the last 3 years. Just fiat into Bitcoin, fiat into Bitcoin, fiat into Bitcoin, fiat into Bitcoin, fiat into Bitcoin. And then you start going into Bitcoin to Ethereum. Check. That happened. Bitcoin dominance, falling off a cliff. Check. That happened. Okay, so now what's next? Going into the large caps. That's the next. Going into the mid caps. That would be Flux. Right? So everything that's getting super coiled up, in my opinion, is just waiting, and it's about to flip, and I think it's going to flip violently. ETH, no all-time high, though. ETH just hit an all-time high. That's not true. ETH, okay, so when you like subjectively, or when you use discretion, this is at the top of the range for Ethereum. Not only right here, but what is this? This is at the all-time high of 2021. This is in the same flavor. So when you say not an all-time high, so right now, presently, like mathematically, 3% from an all-time high. Can Ethereum go up 3%? It could do it during this live stream. Now, I'm not saying it's going to do that, but this was an all-time high, technically, by the lay of the law. If we go over, guess what? This was higher. So it already hit an all-time high August. That was an all-time high. Now, it wasn't price discovery. That's different than an all-time high. But this technically August 25th, or excuse me, August 24th was the all-time high. Did you discuss Filecoin? I'm not a fan of Filecoin. Somebody block this dude. Hold on, I got it. Yeah, so when you say ETH no all-time high, it's not true. You're real for not clickbait. I appreciate that. I try to just tell you what I think is happening. Just present the facts, present the data, and I don't even actually try to tell you what's going to happen or try to tell you what the think's going to happen. I just tell you what I think's going to happen and why I think it's going to happen. And sometimes I'll even argue against myself because I'm not really interested in being correct necessarily, even though I have a really good reputation of that. My objective when I do this is to outline what is the highest probability, what is a plausible scenario to the upside, what is a plausible scenario to the downside. And when we're talking about plausibility, what I'm not talking about is like if asteroids invade Earth and like crazy scenarios. We're talking about the realm of reality of like reasonable. What is the reasonable upside? What is the reasonable downside? And then with all the DAX data, with all the history, with all the facts, what is the highest probability? And then having a plan of action for all three of these. That's really what I do. I know I'm known for my predictions, But really, what I'm doing is I'm outlining what is the highest likelihood thing to happen, what is upside plausibility, what is downside plausibility, and what plan of action am I going to take if any of these take place. But appreciate it. All right. Can you break down others? Others to me is doing basically what we said was the highest likelihood. Late mid-August, I said that I thought that others was go to 380 was my target. Now, that's a little bit maybe perhaps ambitious, but it's not that far away, right? We're right there. 380 billion. I said we were going to front run the rate cuts and then back test the prior range. So we're about 9% away from that. That's not crazy. Okay, we're already up 9% like this week. We're up more than that, actually. 17% this week. Can we get another 9%? I think so. You know, that's what I think is going to happen. I think either way, even if we don't go all the way, whatever, that's fine. Even if we only go to 350 or 370, that's fine. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to get somewhere near 380 and then back test this prior range of support right in here when the rate cuts actually happen. So right there, boom. That's what I think is going to happen. And then we're going to consolidate a little bit and then go into the markup and make a temp at an all-time high here in October. I think we're going to be flirting with an all-time high. Do you have platforms where you give entries and exits? In my Telegram, and I do one-on-one consultations where I give personalized entry strategies and exit strategies for people with their goals. And portfolio reviews. What's going on with this time, bro? I always tune in the mornings. Nothing's going on, bro. I'm just chilling. Here's what's going on is my family went on a long road trip and I did not go, and I'm here. That's what's going on. I just watched some football and I'm just chilling. I'm like, why not? But still, I don't even normally go live on the weekends, actually. I normally just take off, but I just felt like going live. What's others? China's others is... It's a basket of cryptocurrencies outside of the top 10. So when people say alt season, why is this white? Hello. I'm gonna need you to be on dark mode, sir. All right. When people say alt season, they're not talking about Ethereum. Okay, generally, they're not talking about BNB. No one's asking me in the chat, when is BNB gonna rip, right? They're not talking about Tron or Cardano. Some people like Cardano, but when people say alt season, what they're talking about is 11 on, right? They're talking about all this. Okay. So that's what others is. It's all of those coins, their market caps combined into one chart. That's what others is. And I think it's an important chart to keep track of because it's really just measuring alt season. That's what it's actually measuring. Target for ADA 2468. Where can I find your Telegram? My Telegram is private. It's for people that book a consultation with me or buy 2 of the Solnic NFTs. So I just give it out manually to those people. Is VeChain your most confident recommendation after Solnic? At this present, so like it's a very fluid list is what you need to understand. Although I believe in VeChain long term, like ADA 2-3 months ago would have been that one, but ADA is already, although I still think ADA is really good value here, it's just barely above the 236, which is what I consider to be extreme value. But I was saying like ADA down here at 50 cents, right? So it's a fluid list, but today, presently, VeChain to me is the most reward for the least amount of risk for a blue chip. Solnic is my number one 100x play. Target for ADA 2468, but ADA is already up. Like, you know, I was talking heavily about ADA back here. We were talking about Wyckoff accumulation. I'm pretty sure I am certain. Like this was, I'm certain I made a post about ADA on here. Let's see. You guys can follow me here too, by the way. Like this was Ethereum at 2600 when I was saying that this is a bull flag. I am certain I made a post about ADA on here. Here we go. I did. I knew it. So I said it was replicating. Yeah, look, you can see what this is. This was $20 billion market cap. This was after we pulled back, and I said that we were going to continue to follow the Bitcoin fractal here that it's been following. So this is market cap. I can't tell what this date is, but I can look at when was it $20 billion market cap. I can tell what the date is. June 24th. So what was the price of ADA June 24th? Oh, come on now. The bottom, the local bottom. How about that? Right here. So yeah, I was way more bullish on ADA here. It's still really good value, I think. But, you know, it's already done 83% since that post. That's a lot. You know, that's 12, 15 years of stock market gains. So anyways, the point of that is, like, what I consider to be value isn't necessarily based on the project. It's literally what is the least amount of risk that I can risk for the most amount of reward upside. So it used to be ADA and VeChain were kind of tied, but now, like, I do think that ADA is a bit ahead of VeChain, and that makes sense because ADA is a higher market cap, right? And we know, what do we know? We know the rotation of coins. I should post more like this on CoinMarketCap, huh? But yeah, you guys can follow me on here. I'm verified over here. If you're watching on TikTok, absolutely do not leave the platform and follow me everywhere. That's against the rules. Skis up late. I must be dreaming. I know, right? When's a good time to buy H-bar? Okay, H-bar to me, I almost put in a completely different category. Super late, or is this a recording? This is not a recording. I just felt like going live. I know I normally take off the weekends. Okay. I put H-bar almost in a separate category altogether. I feel fine buying H-bar now. To me, though, like, if I'm buying H-bar now, though, H-bar will be my number one altcoin play outside of, like, Solnic. My number one blue chip altcoin play in the bear market. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident. It's going to be top 5 for sure. But I'm pretty sure H-bar is the one I'm going to accumulate pretty aggressively. Bitcoin will be probably 40 to 50% of my portfolio in the bear market. I'll be accumulating that the most by a lot. And again, why is that? This is a mistake that people make. Here's some free advice that I tell a lot of my clients. A mistake that people make in the bear market is they want to like load up on a bunch of altcoins. And I think that's a big mistake, because why is that a mistake? Because of the cryptocurrency roller coaster ride. This is the longest part of the ride. You don't need to get cute. From fiat to Bitcoin, what does that mean? That means Bitcoin is going to come down first, the least, and it's going to go up first. We know this. So you don't need to be cute about it. Buy your Bitcoin. DCA Bitcoin in the bear market. So to me, it's probably going to be about 40% of my portfolio. And then I'll probably have about 5 other coins, maybe 5 to 10 max, that I'm accumulating in the bear market. That's my strategy. And then as we ramp up, as Bitcoin starts to get to all-time highs again, or then I'll start to expand that. Thanks for the hat and mustache. Hey, Ski. I know it's early. Let's say Bitcoin retraces back to 100K during the bear market. Where do you see the next bull run? All right, we can project it. Let's do a different chart altogether here. All right. So let's say, for argument's sake, I'm going to give you 2 scenarios here. My medium case scenario is 138K. So let's say that's where our Bitcoin goes. And then you're saying it goes back to 100K. Well, then we'd be looking at about 200K to 240. But I think what's more likely is we go to 207. Which would mean we'd be going to 500K. And all likely, this is 480. The number is probably 420. As hilarious as that is. So there you go. 2029 predictions, 420,000 for Bitcoin. There you go. That's my prediction. 420,000. 2028, 2029 prediction. Can hear static. Is everyone hearing static? I think I need to get some new XLR cables, unfortunately. Everyone hears static. Okay. I'll order some new new XLR cables. That's probably the issue. They just go bad. I don't know why. It's not a big deal. I'll order a pack of them. No static here. All right, they're saying no static on the other platforms that I'm... That's hilarious that it goes to... Thank you for the cap. That's hilarious that it goes to the small one. VChain 20 cents safe bet. I think if you want a safe bet, it'd be 15 cents, I think. But I think that 20 cents is very reasonable. Hey, any TA on ICP? We just went over ICP pretty thoroughly. In short, you know, I'll just give you a simplified version real quick. a very simple version. Sometimes simple is better, anyways. Honestly, I think as creators, we try to show everyone how smart we are, and then we lose everyone in the process. Simpler is better. So the money flow, right? From Bitcoin to Ethereum to the large caps, to the mid caps, to the small caps, to the micro caps, and so on. I would classify, technically ICP is a large cap, right? But it's like a smaller large cap. So it's like maybe here. Well, for sake of argument, we'll say it's a mid cap. We're in this phase right now, and we're about to transition into the large caps. So from a TA perspective, in my opinion, ICP is getting coiled up, and I think that's what it's showing. Is like maybe it's a phase or two behind Ethereum. Did I fix when I unplugged my microphone, did it fix the issue? Hey, how do I get you one-on-one? This is a little bit hard to see on my phone. No, it did not. It helped. It's back now. Okay, I need to get new cables. Sorry, guys. If you want to set up a one-on-one consultation with me, you can hit me in the DMs and we can set that up. I'm happy to verify my identity on a 1 or 2 minute Google Meet call, just to say I'm the real ski. I know there's lots of imposters out there, so I'm happy to say hop on a call hey, I'm the real guy. So yeah, that's how you set that up. And all the calls are either Google Meet video call where I share my screen, or their Telegram video call where I share my screen. All right, they're saying that the static did not go away. I think they're saying there's no static on the other platforms. Says you feel fine about H-bar now. You're going against what you said in 2024. Yeah, I am. I'm not accumulating H-bar now, but I don't think that the downside is crazy either. That's what I'm saying. TikTok no static. Okay. Some people have it, some people don't. Let me try to wiggle this. I think my cable is bad, is the issue. I know it's bad, actually. They just go bad every now and again. I don't know why they do, but they do. It's annoying. That did something? Did it do something bad or good? Alright, directly after this live stream, I'm going to order a whole pack of them on Amazon. Good. Okay. All right, good. Like I said, your cable has too many female connectors. It's not bad at all. Jasmine prediction 10, 11, 12 cents. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high for Jasmine. Can you go over again on what you do on one-on-one consultation? Yeah, sure. So I have a limited number of slots that I book each week, and once I get kind of close, I usually will put it out on Instagram or TikTok. But I only take in so many per week because I want to make sure I bring the most amount of value that I possibly can. I don't want to just do whatever. But what it comes with is a one-on-one video call with me where we go over your portfolio. I have you email me all all your questions, your comments, your concerns, your pain points, what you're struggling with, your goals, your timelines. So we really get in the weeds on everything. And then in the call, we go over that. We go over your portfolio, where I think you have room for improvement, or what I like. Hold on. What I like, what I don't like. What I think you're doing well, what I think you could do better. As well as that comes with a spreadsheet, exit targets for each individual project, and then also comes with lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram group, where I put out my calls, my trades. Anytime I buy, sell, I upload weekly videos there. Books that have helped me. So lots of value. But yeah, I take a couple. I take a few per week, and then that's it. Will memes go parabolic? I think so. How long do you think euphoria will last? We will feel like it will last forever, but not long. Maybe a few months. AVAX looking good. I agree. AVAX is a large cap. Waking up. 10, 11, 12 cents for Jasmine. How long do you think euphoria will last? If Bitcoin hits 130K, do you think we'll pull back in the bear market? Probably 70. Quick question. What about Tron? What about it? I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, 300, 700, 1300 for quant. Can you see the bull run continue into 2026? Yeah, I can see anything happening. Listen, one thing about me, I have projections, right? Let me look up Tron. I have projections of what I think may or may not happen based off of times. Yeah, Tron, to me, I have no interest in this. This is parabolic. I'm answering two questions at the same time. I need to not do that. Listen, the thing about me, if you follow me and you watch me, what you need to understand is I do not care about time. And I think it's a common thing that we do as retail is like, we want to know when. So buy here. And then what month is it going to be parabolic? Okay, to me, that's a flawed perspective, because what happens is, this is what I see all the time, is like, for instance, I projected that after rate cuts, we would have a pullback in September, right? And so then what do people start doing is like, I'm going to sell my crypto and then I'm going to buy back later. It's like, maybe that worked for you, brother, but I almost never see it work in the way that people think it's going to do. Because what I actually think is going to happen is we're going to put in a higher low. And so the point of what I'm saying about that is like, I don't make decisions based off of time. I make decisions based off of structure and, you know, market sentiment, how hot we are, how cold we are, how much fear is in the market, how much greed is in the market. Different things like that is how I make decisions, but it's not based off of time. So what do I project? I project it's December. Can it run into 2026? Yeah. Could it run into 2028? Certainly could. So I'm not married to any one time. I'm going to let the market come to me. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to look at structure. I'm going to look at Wyckoff. I'm going to look at, are we oversold? Are we overbought? Are we, is there fear in the market? Are people freaking out? Are people telling me I'm an idiot? Like, these are all things I'm going to be looking for. But time, like, well, it's February, guys. It's time to sell. Like, no, I'm not going to be doing that. And I think it's a mistake for people to do that, because I see people get burned all the time. Genuinely, I am not aware of an individual, not one. Maybe they exist. I am not aware of one individual that was like, I'm going to sell in April and then I'm going to buy back in June. Or whatever the case was, whatever month. I'm going to buy back lower. I've never seen it work out for them. Never. I've never seen someone successfully do it. What the heck? Due to inactivity. Oh. Whoopsies. I'm pretty sure I did the thing. That's crazy. Whoopsies. Let's see if it'll let me pull that back up. That sucks. If not, it might just I don't know. Is it saying we're good or not? Where are we? Okay. Alright, yeah. Alright, good. We'll let people get back in here for a second. Sorry about that, guys. I swore that I hit the little puzzle checkmark thing that TikTok's like, are you sure you're not a robot? I swore I slid that. You guys saw me slide it, and it said inactivity. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I didn't study for the test. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know. I don't know what happened. SEI. Any targets on that? Is this your full-time job? This is my full-time job. I've been full-time since maybe like 2023. I was in the Army. I say 2023. I was in the Army until 2024. January of 2024. But I wasn't actually in the Army. Technically I was, but technically I wasn't. I did a internship for myself July of 2023, and so that's when I went full-time. So July of 2023. All right, SEI 50 cents, parabolic $1.50. Hello, what about new coins with utility? You have any opinion? I haven't found one that I like, to be honest with you. I am in the vast minority of that. I'm not really interested in them, to be honest. So I thought you got taken down. No, it was my silly fault. I swore, like you guys saw me do it on YouTube and X. I swore that I slid the little thing to say, yes, I'm not a robot. But maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't do it. I'm not sure what happened. Avalanche prediction 180. Rose prediction 15 cents, 38 cents, 88 cents. Says hi. Can you look up Jupiter? What's your projections? You're not live on YouTube? I should be. I should be live on YouTube. Somebody let me know. I think I am. I hope I am. I don't know. Maybe I'm too tired. Maybe that's the issue here. Maybe we got just like all kind of user error here. Operator error. NTT. I like NCT. The chart looks very good. It says, yes, you are. Okay, thank you. You are live on YouTube. All right, dope. You had me tripping there. Retracement, 7 cents. Parabolic, 35 cents. NCT looks really good to me. Near 3x. Says you live. Charlie says you live. Great. Great news. Sol's pumping hard. Yes. We talked about this. Y'all think I just like cherry pick. I love that I got verified on CoinMarketCap, because every now and again I haven't posted on here in a little bit, but I'll just post my TA over here sometimes. I posted on X as well, but like I can just go back and see the receipts of what I was seeing per day. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Here you go, Solana, July 10th. The market cap was, this is what we said, the markup, beautiful, wonderful chart, Wyckoff accumulation. It doesn't get any cleaner than that, ladies and gentlemen. That's about as clean as it gets. Markup is next. This was at $83 billion, July 10th. We don't need to, July 10th is when I posted this. What was the market cap of Solana July 10th? Let's see. I'm not sure. But there's my green arrow that hasn't moved. What green arrow? Ah, this one. July 10th. The market cap was $80 billion. And it is up 69% since that time. Nice. Beautiful. Come on. Come on now. Sold to 500. I think that's a super reasonable target. 420, 510, 600. Those are my targets. Hey, from Europe, you mentioned you might have a correction after rate cuts, but that turn into bear. No, I don't think so, Leo. I just think it's going to be a higher low. ICP 25 is possible? Yes, it is possible. It will be very emotional. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be emotional. I'm telling you right now, it will be emotional. And there will be creators. I'm telling you right now. That will say it's a bear. But no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I wasn't notified about being on here. Was watching on TikTok till it went down. I think we got it back up. All right, trying to figure out how to do a one-on-one with you. I sent you a follow. Not sure what. Hit me in the DMs. I will message you back after the live stream. It's just manual. I'm not like a giant corporation or anything like that. You know, so I don't have, you know, this streamlined process. I manually select who I want to do calls with because, you know, I want to make sure I don't just get booked all the way out where, you know, I can't give my best energy and effort to everyone else. Because I've done that before and it's not fair. So I have about 5 more slots for this week. If you guys want to do a one-on-one consultation, I think I have about 5 slots available. Render price prediction 10, 20, 30. Hey Ski, does the markup look from macro caps? Hey Ski, how does the markup look for micro caps? Does it move by humble servant? I'm not sure what you're asking. H bar 66 cents, 88 cents, 120. You think we extend into next year? That is not my base case, no. But I'm open-minded. I'm on TikTok. I'm going to try to get onto YouTube. Maybe that's better. Your merch looks banging. Do I have merch? I don't know. I'm not really moving merch like that. When do you think Euphoria starts? October. Casper opinion. I was never... man. I was never a fan of Casper. Never. Never. All right, we're going to pretend like it's 20... all right, we're going to take a time machine. Okay? I have a mustache. I don't have a beard. Because I had a mustache in 2023. I didn't have a beard. We're going to take a time machine, right? And you are going to ask me about Casper, the red one. Okay? It's 2023. This is the first time I've ever heard about Casper. I've never heard of it before. This was what happened, okay? You just asked me about Casper, but it's the beginning of 2023. You ready? Let me pull up a better chart here. See if we can get the full chart here. Okay. It's 2023, first time. Oh no, it's 2022. We'll just pretend 2023. March. I bet it was 2023 when people were asking me, actually, March, when it was pumping a little bit. So this is what I did. I said, what is this chart? What is this chart? What is this? What is this chart? What is this? No, thank you. And that was the end of my Casper career. So listen, I would love to be face-meltingly wrong, but I was never interested in it. And that's why. Because I only invest in coins that I think have promising charts. And this is not great. I would love to be face-meltingly wrong because I don't have a dog in the fight. But that was my introduction to Casper. I didn't like it in 2023, and I don't like it now. VeChain opinion. VeChain is my top blue chip play right now. I think it has the most upside potential with the least downside risk out of blue chips. How long do you think we pull back after the rate cuts? Not long. I think we go into euphoria in October. Give me a sec. When Bitcoin has a markup, I move by hundreds at a time. How does it look? Micro count. I think the next phase is like this, right? This entire time that you followed me, basically, it's been all about Bitcoin the entire time. And you followed me enough to know that I've said that. Like, it's all about Bitcoin. It's all about Bitcoin. It's all about Bitcoin. I've said this a lot. You've watched my channel. I know you have because I've seen you here forever. You've watched me long enough to know that I've said it's all about Bitcoin. If I've said that once, I've said it 376 times. Okay? So basically this entire time I've been making content, that's where we've been at. Where it has been all about Bitcoin. From fiat to Bitcoin. We're no longer in that though. And we have slowly, quietly passed that. Okay? So now as Bitcoin goes up, I think that the large caps are going to exponentially outperform this. And by the way, Ethereum has already done that over the last month. So yeah, I think now that's what we're going to see. Any moves that we see, like everything else is going to move more than Bitcoin. What's your YouTube channel? At Yaboyski, YABOYSKEY. But I'll send you a DM, or if you already messaged me, I'll message you back on TikTok after the live stream. But all right, guys, I'm getting pretty tired. I think I'll go home now. I don't think I'll be live tomorrow, but I will be live Monday. My normal live time is around 5 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. I also do a live stream every Friday with Alex at 9 a.m. Central Time. That's the Wake Up Call show. And me and Coin Guide, aka William Watson, is going to be doing a podcast once a month. And I'll probably get some more people to do podcasts to kind of even that out. So right now we have 2 consistent people, but we'll probably do more crypto creators as time goes on. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this time. I will be uploading a video to the Telegram group tomorrow, /members, /YouTube members, /TikTok members. So if you're a member and you want me to cover a coin, put that in the topic request. But that's going to be it. Alvarez is a good candidate for sure. That's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. If you message me, I will message you back, but I'm not going to message you first. If you guys want to set up a one-on-one consultation with me, I have 5 slots available for this week. So hit me in the DMs for that. That comes with a one-on-one consultation, lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram group where I put out my calls, trades. It also comes with a personalized portfolio review and exit strategy. So whether it's with me or somebody else or yourself, I think you should have a strategy in place. Bye, guys. That's me for this time. Peace, love.